Hey moms, if we haven't met, my name is Kendra, and I'm one of the pastors on staff here at Substance. I have 3 girls who are 8, 6, and 3, and I just celebrated 10 years of marriage with my husband. I am passionate about learning, and becoming a mom has created a focus on learning everything I can about parenting, which is a process that never really has an endpoint. But even before becoming a mom, I was learning about kids. Previous to coming on staff at Substance, I was an elementary school teacher. Today, I want to share with you a teaching method that I used when I was in the classroom. And it came to mind as I was reflecting on ways that my parenting has morphed as my kids have grown. It's helped me organize my tools, set better expectations for myself and my kids. It's become a framework for the stages of my journey as a parent so far. As a classroom teacher, I used a method called I do, we do, you do. Another name for it was the Gradual Release of Responsibility. It was a staggered support for new concepts or skills that offered the child a chance to see it done while the teacher did it for them. Then to give it a go and practice with the teacher before finally trying it out on their own. The name's pretty self-explanatory, but let me make the bridge to parenting. When your babies are, babies, they cannot do anything for themselves. The only thing they can do is signal to you that something is wrong and they need your help. They cry, and you do your best to figure out what they need and how to meet that need. You feed them, you change them, you make sure they don't have a hair wrapped around their big toe. You do bicycle kicks to help pass gas. And then sometimes they're still crying, so you pick them up and you rock them, or you sway and you make shushing noises and you pat their butts. All of these things that you are doing instinctively are doing for your baby what they cannot do for themselves, which is regulate. Your body teaches theirs how to pump the brakes on the signaling system they use to let you know they're in distress. The science behind this is actually fascinating, and it just makes me love the way that God designed us. Now, it's widely accepted that young babies fall firmly into this I do stage of parenting, where you, the parent, do the things. Neuroscience is teaching us that this stage actually lasts longer than we may have thought. Bear with me here for a moment. Most parents don't expect their crawling 8-month-old to have the self-control to not put everything on the floor in their mouths. So we more or less do it for them. We make sure the floor is clean-ish. There aren't any choking hazards. It's why we cover outlets, cut food into bite-sized pieces, and put locks on the cleaning cabinet. Our expectations for what babies can do for themselves are generally pretty low. But as our kids hit the toddler stage, we pretty quickly jump from the I do stage of parenting right into the you do stage. I expect them to be resilient, manage disappointment, to not get mad when they get the blue cup instead of the pink one. I expect for my toddler to be able to negotiate conflict, manage shared resources, and exercise self-control, to not hit or bite when another toddler takes their toy. I expect my littles to hold themselves together in the grocery store when I've told them no to approximately 7,493 items that professional marketers have designed specifically to draw my child in and desire it with every breath in their body. I mean, who needs a Minion sticker on a banana? Thank you for that, by the way. When you really look at it, we're asking them to do some pretty complex things. Some things that are even hard for me to do. Through the lens of neuroscience and what it has taught us about the developing brain, we can actually extend the I do stage for our toddlers and be in a developmentally appropriate spot. This is freeing information. At least it was for me. Instead of expecting my child to be able to manage shared resources and negotiate conflict with another toddler over the most desirable truck in the sandpit, you can do it for them. I can tell my kid, I can't let you take that truck from him. He's still playing with it. You can have a turn when he's done. And then I will do just that. My child might reach to grab it, and I can block them. I won't let you take that truck. Validate the frustration. It's so hard to wait. The difference between the I do mindset and the you do mindset might sound like this. Don't take that toy. The responsibility to not take, it's on your toddler. When I tell them, I won't let you take that toy, the responsibility lies with me. I am showing them what it is like to manage a shared resource. I'm showing my toddler what it is like to wait for your turn. They get a chance to see it done the right way, and their brain neurons wire together and start to build pathways on taking turns and delayed gratification. Maybe your toddler is climbing on the table and you have a boundary with climbing on the table. The you do mindset would sound like, get off the table. The responsibility lies with the child to remove themselves. The I do mindset sounds like this. I can't let you climb on the table. Can you get down yourself, or would you like my help to get down? The responsibility lies with me, the grown-up, because I'm in charge of keeping everyone safe, and I'm not leaving safety decisions up to the toddler. I'm also not engaging in a battle of wills. Now, some of you might ask, yeah, but doesn't that mean you are not teaching them to obey you so that they know you have to do what you say? And I would offer you a reframe. I am doing exactly that. By holding the boundary for them, they are for surely doing what I say. They are learning that they have to do what I say. I am laying the groundwork that I am in charge, there are boundaries, and they will be held. And in this particular stage of parenting, I'm going to hold them for you because sometimes you need my help, and I will help you. As your child gets older toddlers to pre-K, the I do stage begins to give way to the we do. We do it together. Going back to the shared resource example, I have a 3-year-old who's pretty verbal, and we've been practicing this for a while. Another toddler takes a toy she's playing with. Sometimes it might not even bother her. Toy taking can be a form of exploring social contract, and it's okay to see how it plays out. Often I'll ask, are you done playing with that toy? No? Okay, you can tell her, I'm not done playing with that toy. You can have a turn when I'm done. Then I might turn to the other child. You can tell Lenny, I'd like a turn when you're done. Great. I might need to still help with that exchange back to Lenny. And as I see that she's done with the doll, I can remind her, hey, Charlotte would like a turn now that you're done. Can you go tell her you're done? Or would you like to bring it over to her? I am facilitating what it looks like to navigate taking turns, to advocate for yourself, to hold a boundary. Is this more work than telling a child, you have to share, and take the doll from her and give it to the other child? Yes, it is. But when I do that, I don't actually teach the heart behind what sharing is, which is generosity. I'm teaching the child that they have to protect what's theirs because at any moment, someone might take it. This we do stage is long, and it focuses on giving tools to a child. When you place a higher focus on coaching over punishment for wrongdoing, it teaches your child how to do the right thing instead of fearing to do the wrong thing. For example, if one child gets hit by another child, I could punish the hitter or give a consequence or a timeout. I could give them tools. Tell the child on the receiving end, I didn't like it when you hit me, it hurt. Now that child who was hit, not just a victim, they have a voice. And the child who hit, I might ask, can you tell me why you hit her? She was pushing too hard in tag. Now I can coach. You can tell Charlotte, hey, you were pushing too hard in tag, I didn't like it. Now this child is learning how to advocate, and their brain is firing those neurons together and building pathways to do it in an appropriate way rather than hitting. When I just punish a child for hitting with a timeout, I'm not giving the brain practice on what they should have done instead. If the child in the scenario or the children are highly emotional, my first step is always safety. Make sure everyone is safe. I might even need to put my body in between. The second step is regulation. When kids are highly emotional, they are not able to respond to logic and reasoning. So holding space for those emotions and helping them regulate themselves would be the next steps. But once that's done, we can come back to the conversation. Now, in the realities of family life, you don't always have the option of coming back to things right away or even all the time, and that's okay. If your goal is most of the time, you'll be doing a great job of training their brains. In the we do stage, some of your tools will include conflict coaching, compromises, redos, check-ins, and making repair. As you help them with each of these tools, your child will start to use some of them on their own. And I don't have time to go in depth onto every single one of these tools right now, but if you're wanting to learn more, reach out to my staff email and I can send you some resources. At this point, you might be thinking, that sounds like a lot of work. And you're right. But here's the thing. Any way you slice it, parenting is a lot of work. And by investing time into doing the I do and we do stage together, you are going to reap some benefits. You are going to have the benefit of kids who have seen and practiced things like saying no to someone who's infringing on their personal space. I want daughters who have had years of setting up good boundaries on their personal space before they launch as teenagers. They're comfortable saying, no, I don't like that, because they have practiced it. And I have spent years teaching my kids that when they are unsure of how to handle a problem, Mom has the tools to help you deal with them. They can come to me with problems. Kids are not going to get these things right away. When they fail, I want them to fail with me. When they mess up, I want them to mess up with me. I want to practice with them. I want them to talk to me when they're mad. And you know what? That means that they're going to mess up there too, and they are going to say disrespectful things to you. And I have the chance to shut it down because I'm the parent and you can't talk to me that way. Or I have the chance to coach them on how they should talk when they're mad, to leave open the line of communication so they know how to do it, say, when they get married and are infuriated that their spouse keeps leaving all of the cabinet doors open in the kitchen, the entire kitchen. Just why? And they can reach out for all the regulation and conflict management tools that they have sharpened over time with you. The you-do stage can become a scary one for a parent as kids approach teenagehood. Teenagers are figuring out who they are apart from you and how they handle situations on their own, and you are releasing responsibility to them. Now, if we roll it back, in the I do stage, I might tell my toddler, "That made you mad." I'm giving information. In the we do stage, it might sound like, "I wonder if that made you mad." We're discovering together, and I offer suggestions. In the you do stage, it might sound like, "How did that make you feel?" I ask, and I leave it open. Rather than telling or suggesting, leading with curiosity and questions is a powerful tool to engage. Phrases like, "I'm curious why." "Would you like?" "What do you think?" "I notice. What's up?" These help keep the lines of communication open because there is less perceived exertion of control over the scenario. With my 8-year-old, there have been times that we flex between this stage and the we do. As she's telling me about a conflict that came up at school, sometimes I'll ask her, "Would you like some advice, or are you just wanting to tell me?" When her feelings are high, I might ask her, "Would you like comfort or space?" Pastor Peter shared a great message earlier this year about parenting in the teenage years, the golden window you have and what the you do stage with them looks like. I encourage you to watch it if you missed it. It's worth noting that these stages are not cut and dry. You might dance between the I do and the we do for a bit, and there is certainly a time between the we do and the you do where you have one foot in each. But it's worth having an understanding of where you are in the stages and what tools you can reach for. In all 3 stages, you, the parent, are modeling what it's like to do the things you want your kids to do. In the I do stage, you're going to model and you're going to hold boundaries for your kids. In the we do stage, you're going to model, coach, and hold boundaries for your kids. In the you do stage, you're going to model, discuss, and hold boundaries. I want to end with why I believe you don't want to glide over the first 2 stages too quickly. And it's because of influence. When you focus on compliance as the highest desired outcome of parenting, and you use power and control to enforce that compliance, over the years you end up losing influence. When you reach the teenage years and your kids are working on discovering who they are apart from you, their desire to listen to you might not be that high. And you can inadvertently teach them that power and control are the tools by which you get people to do what you want. We can land our kids too early in the you do stage and then hand out punishments in an attempt to motivate them to do better. In doing so, we use our greater power to control or force compliance for the way we want them to do things. Or we can use our greater power to hold boundaries for them when they're too young to do it themselves. And then we can come alongside them and coach and guide, all while they try and fail and fall apart and try again. Within the boundaries, we're still holding those. But instead of a punishment for wrongdoing, I give a redo and a chance for repair. And through the years, you will establish with your child that you are in their corner. You are there to help when they've messed up. Not fix it or make it go away, but you will walk through it with them. And so they will come to you, and you will have earned the right to speak into their lives in their teenage years and well into adulthood. When I was preparing for this talk, my 8-year-old daughter, Poppy, asked me to read it to her. And she had something she wanted you to hear. She said, "You should parent like this because it teaches kids that when you make mistakes, you can fix it, and even grown-ups make mistakes. And when your child endorses a parenting style that's not permissive, I'd say that's a pretty powerful recommendation." No matter where you are in your parenting journey, there is always the ability to shift away from practicing anything that might not be serving your family and to try something different. One last thing before I go. If you haven't heard, parenting coach Amanda Carrera offers a parenting class through Substance called Revival Parenting. I highly recommend it for any parent who wants to continue to grow and learn, and I have personally been through it twice. And if you are not local to the Twin Cities, courses can be done in groups online, or Amanda offers one-on-one coaching as well. There's a link to the webpage with more information in the show notes. My hope is that there was something in here today that resonated with you, and that together as a community of mamas, we can get curious about what parenting tools and teaching methods might serve our families well.